In the last lesson, we built an important piece of code, a password checker using the while loop. Remember the problem. To make the password checker work with a while loop, we had to ask the user for their guess twice. Once before the loop to set the initial condition, and once inside the loop to update the condition. This is redundant and less efficient. Why? Because the while loop is a pretest loop. It always checks the condition before running the code block. What if we could guarantee that the code block, the part that asks for the password, runs at least once and then we check the condition? Welcome to lesson 3.06. Today we are learning the third and final basic loop structure, the do-while loop. The do-while loop is the answer to the problem we just saw. It is a post-test loop. It does the code block. It then checks the while condition to see if it should repeat. This means the code inside the curly braces is guaranteed to execute at least once, even if the condition is immediately false. First, the do-while loop syntax. The syntax separates the action, do, from the condition, while. Let's rewrite our password checker using do-while. Guaranteed run. The program immediately executes the do block, prompting the user and getting the guess. First check. After running, it checks the while condition. If the guess was correct, the condition is false and the loop terminates. If the guess was incorrect, the condition is true and the loop repeats, running the do block again. The result is cleaner code because we eliminated the redundant input call that the while loop required outside its block. Second, the unique advantage, execution guarantee. Let's look at the key difference between while and do-while. Scenario A, while loop, pretest. Output, nothing. The code block never runs. Scenario B, do-while loop, post-test. Output, this prints once. Then the condition is checked. Key takeaway. If your program requires the user to interact or input data before you can possibly check if the loop needs to run again, use the do-while loop. Common uses include data validation, displaying menus, or running interactive prompts. Third, the required semicolon trap. The last major point is a common syntax error. In the for loop and if statement, you never put a semicolon after the control line. However, the do-while loop requires a semicolon after the while condition because it is the actual end of the control structure statement. Forgetting this semicolon will result in a compiler error. You now know all three fundamental loop types. For definite iteration, you know the count. While, for indefinite iteration, based on a condition, checked first. Do-while, for indefinite iteration, based on a condition, checked last. Guaranteed one execution. These loops let you repeat code. But what if you are 500 iterations deep into a for loop and suddenly a critical error occurs, like a file disappears, and you need to immediately stop the loop? Or what if you just want to skip one bad piece of data and continue to the next iteration? We need special keywords to control the loop's execution. Click on the next video to learn the powerful loop control statements, starting with lesson 3.07. Loop control. Break, which allows you to exit a loop at any time.